Welcome to another edition of the Nightly Nuge. And this is a continuation of what we're celebrating, Ted. We've called it Freedom Week, which, of course, I've been your friend for 3 decades now, and we celebrate freedom every single day. But this week has been really a historic week of court decisions that really celebrated freedom. How you doing today, Ted?
Well, you know, I'm high on freedom. I'm actually intoxicated, kind of inebriated on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So I'd like to share that uppityness, that defiance. Critical thinking from the guitar player on the Nightly Nuge. Again, thank you, everybody, for supporting the Nightly Nuge. Tell everybody that there is truth, logic, and common sense celebration at the Nightly Nuge, and also on my Real America Voice Spirit Campfire, because the heart and soul of America is alive and well, but it's hard to find in most of the media. But we celebrate it and promote it right here on the Nightly Nuge.
As you know, Ted, I'm an attorney in my day job. Don't brag about it. Don't talk about it, because so many people are like, oh my God. And even you, I've heard you say many times, you don't like attorneys, with 1 or 2 exceptions. And I hope I'm one of those exceptions. But
there's actually 3. Yes.
This has been an interesting week. And I want to talk about this case that came out of New York. Basically, the case was not the Non-Human Rights Project. Let that digest. The Non-Human Rights Project versus the Bronx Zoo. And they filed a writ of habeas corpus. And they wanted to get an elephant named Happy freed from the Bronx Zoo. And so before I get your take, Ted, I think we ought to tell the folks at home what a writ of habeas corpus is. The Constitution allows a writ of habeas corpus, which is a pleading to get a prisoner in front of a judge to determine whether he should or should not be confined. So this group filed a writ of habeas corpus to free Happy the elephant from the Bronx Zoo. They said that a writ of habeas corpus was appropriate for an elephant. And here's what the New York Court of Appeals said. The great writ protecting the right to liberty of humans, because they are humans with certain fundamental liberty rights recognizable by law, non-human animals are not and have never been considered persons with the right of liberty. And so, you know, people laugh when they say, of course, that's true. But imagine, Ted, had the New York court said, no, Happy has the same rights that Ted Nugent and Keith Mark and all of our listeners have. He's to be freed. There would never be any more hunting in America, because Happy the bear, Happy the cougar, Happy the pheasant, Happy the deer, Happy the fill in the blank would all be protected under this type of logic that these, I'm going to just say goofballs think. So another, Ted, out of New York comes another court case that gets stamped with the Nightly Nuge's Freedom Wins placard. What's your take?
Well, first of all, our court system could stand a substantial upgrade, because this case should have never been heard. The very concept that animals are equal to human beings is human beings consume them by the trillions per day. I feel like a complete idiot trying to explain that that cows and pigs and deer and elk and elephants are food.
And I want to say a special thank you to our friends at Protect the Harvest, because it was their efforts that got in the midst of this. Think about this, Ted. You have dogs, Coco, Sadie, Happy. Yep. And if your neighbors were part of this non-human rights project, they file a writ of habeas corpus and says you got to release your dogs. What about if the non-human rights project had their way? You're a pig farmer. They file a writ of habeas corpus and all of your pigs go free. Cattle ranchers. I mean, this is so absurd. And the fact that they actually won at a lower court is embarrassing in and of itself. But my hope, Ted, is that as we continue this Freedom Week theme with conservative, common sense freedom-based values have won across the board this week. This is just another example of that. And I sure hope this trend continues.
If you want thriving biodiversity and wildlife, come to hunternation.org and vote those values and make sure that our elected employees represent those values.
You know what, Ted? What a great week to be an American. What a great week to be on the side of freedom and all that you and I are doing every single day with Hunter Nation at hunternation.org and Hunt the Vote at huntthevote.org and all the political things that you and I are involved in. And it's days and weeks like this that makes me take a step back and say, you know what? It's worth it.
Yep. God bless Real America. God bless everybody out there. I'll see you at the Ted Nugent Real America Voice Spirit Campfire and right here on Nightly Nuge every night.